well, do you think perhaps anybody will match Phil McCallum's 5 victories in a day? Do you think John McGuinness can do it, or somebody? NW200@bbc.co.uk, and you can send your comments or questions to us via text message. Simply text my NW200 followed by a space and then your contribution to 60011. So let us know what you think, as Parish is away down Millbank and through the left-hander of Primrose. Phil, he's taking it ever so steadily, isn't he?
I think we will. He's definitely being a little bit less careful compared to the last bikes we've seen around there. But don't forget, the last boys race every week, and Steve doesn't race every week. In fact, I don't think he really rides a lot on road bikes either. We must get him when he comes back up to find out how much riding he really does on road bikes. But don't forget, he also has brand new tyres. So the last thing we need to see is Steve's new leathers scratched on or dirty break that camera.
There was a little wheelie there actually, Phil. I don't know whether you noticed that coming out of the York hairpin. Now heading up in towards this Mill Road roundabout, which has taken the wrong way round. This is the first helicopter pictures that we've had from this weekend, but Steve bends it in just very, very gingerly into the left-handed. And of course, this is where you've got to be also careful, because these are used every day of the year, these roads, and there is do get a little bit of occasional debris on the track. So hopefully Steve has not managed to do anything there. Through the right-hander and heading down to what has got to be probably the most daunting corner on the circuit, apart from Mather's Cross perhaps, and that's Cremore Station.
Yeah, this corner, to be honest, you'll see it coming up now, and when you're a rider, you can't see the apex, so you've got to get the entrance right. He's preparing for the entrance, he's looking for the apex, hits the cone and back out again, and that's dead easy, because he's probably he'll be doing an excess of 120 miles an hour, 130 there. But when the boys come through there on a superbike, you know, they're doing 160, 170, and 600 the same, and it's a very, very hard corner to take an apex. There's a slight rise on the road there where you get a wheelie. Again, when you're doing 180 mile an hour, you have to be very, very careful not to let the wind get underneath your machine there. You're coming along here now, and this is the place where Michael Rutter and the boys get up to 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, that's it, Phil. I was going to say, just take us through on this lap of Steve Parish's, because you're now breaking in towards the left-hander of the University Link Road. And again, just trying to see where you actually break into that one. The white lines, do they cause a problem when it's just as damp as it is?
Yeah, I mean, the white lines they use around here are lines with a certain amount of grip in them. It's not your usual white paint they use here, so they prepare for this well in advance. But again, there is going to be less traction and grip on a white line than there is on the tarmac. Again, this is the first left-hander where you're really, really banked over, so we've known in the past a few people to fall off here. When you come out of the roundabout here, it's an off camber, so just when you're trying to get the gas on now, the camber on the road changes, and you could dead easily, you know, flick out onto the grass.
Well, it is Steve Parish now just started to enjoy himself. Now he's starting to build up speed. This is what was the run back to Port Rush, and this was where the bikes were hitting the fastest on the Tuesday night practice session. This is on the run up towards Mather's Cross. It is slightly uphill. It does belie the camera angle into this one, and this has got to be a daunting corner, Phil. Yeah,
this corner is definitely harder to take than Station Corner. It's the hardest corner on the track, because when you come up to it, you lift up on the road, and then you can see the apex. Until that point, you can't see the apex. So you find the apex, then you really want to get the gas back on again and to get the exit of the corner. But where he's going down here now, also, there's a left hand, which only looks like a left hand kink. But when you're getting up to, like, I mean, you're coming up to 170 miles an hour again here easy in that left hand, and it becomes a corner, you know, when you get that speed. But you've also got to be very, very careful, because if it does happen to rain on a sweat, you can aquaplane right across the road. Also, coming into the chicane here, sorry for missing it, that's another one, you can't see the braking point. You get your braking point, you hope you've stopped on time, and then you see the entrance into the chicane.
Well, that is the Magra Boy chicane, the latest of the chicanes to be added to the Portrush Coleraine Port Stewart Portrush triangle, as they now head down to what was the quickest point on Tuesday night, and the bikes were topping out around about 190 miles an hour on the downhill stretch in towards the braking zone for the left-hander of Metropole. And again, you can see the road surface just a little bit difficult there, as they then bend it left-handed in towards the Metropole roundabout and in front of the Portrush Railway embankment. Phil, how good is it to see the fans there as you come around there? It's usually packed, that banking on Steve's right-hand side.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You actually can hear this is one track. I mean, it's well, I'm going to say it's the best track in the world, but there's others obviously just as good road races that we like. But it's unbelievable. No matter who you are, should be you be the first rider here, should you be the last rider, you can feel the crowds. You can, I mean, the atmosphere is unbelievable on a Saturday, and the crowds are really behind you, and it oozes you on to just go faster and try harder, and that's why we have such great racing here. You can feel Joe Public, you can feel the fans, you can hear the fans.
Well, through the Black Hill sector, that uphill left-hander. Now the run down the coast road, past the various campsites and the various units as they go in towards another one of the chicanes, and this is the braking zone into the Juniper chicane, whereas one of our course bikes, I think it was Steve Thompson, actually ended up in the hedge on Tuesday night when he was showing the newcomers round. Least said about that, the better, I think, Phil. But Steve bends it left and then right, and then just this short little chute before they then come out onto the main coast road again, and this then brings us back up across the top in towards Quarry Hill and to complete the lap. And judging by, we just put the old clock on Steve there, around about, he's going to do it in less than 6 minutes, Phil, so that's going to be an average of 90 miles an hour. Not bad for the old boy.
No, I mean, we'll encourage him to go a little bit faster next time, but like I say, he's on brand new tyres, and he probably he's never rode that bike before, and but no, superb. You know, we look at him when he was tiptoeing around compared to the other riders, and he still achieved like a 90-mile-an-hour lap, so it just shows you the speeds.